And welcome back, ladies and gents, to another edition of the Red Divide. I'm Mark, big United fan. That's Ray, so Liverpool fan. What's happening, my cuz? How you doing?
Yeah, all good and you. Excited for the weekend's games, and we've got lots to discuss this in this podcast with regards to the Champions League draw and the Europa. So let's get right into it.
Did you say Europa? What's that?
It's that competition that United couldn't win last season.
Okay. Oh, nice one. Anyway, back to the real deal. Should we talk Champions League first?
Yeah,
Any
let's
competition people really care about anyway.
You know what? As it is seen as the elite competition in Europe, although I don't think the Europa League should be frowned upon. But let's get straight into it. So United's group, quite an interesting one. Some tough competition. How do you feel about it? Bayern, champions of Germany.
Copenhagen, champions of Denmark.
Yeah,
Galatasaray, champions of Turkey.
And United finished third in
Champions
the
of the
league.
world.
Finished third in the Premier League. What an achievement.
Yeah, but you know in my heart they're the champions of the world, so let's go with that.
So what do you think? How do you fare?
Well, I mean, it's Champions League, right? So you cannot underestimate any of the teams in the Champions League.
For sure.
So naturally, Bayern is the main threat, but I'm not underestimating Gala or Copenhagen. I think either of them can show up on the night and give us one hell of a game. Possibly even, take some points off us. So we have to be at our best on every game day. So yeah, I'm thinking worst case scenario between the league and Champions League. That Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Saturday eventually gets to you. So we have to hope that the squad depth we have now is good enough, especially with the new signings coming in. And worst case scenario, we finish second. But I have faith we'll make it to the knockouts, to make it to the round of 16.
So you think you'll possibly finish second in the group behind Bayern?
Yeah. I'd like to say that we'll win the group, but we're going to see, man. The Premier League is tough. So that alone is going to be, huge concentration to focus on that league. And then you have a Champions League to deal with, which couldn't be happier. Extremely happy to be back in the Champions League. It's been a rough season last season trying to get back in, so glad to be there. And yeah, I think I'd love to say we win it, but worst case scenario, whether we win it or we come second, I believe we'll make it to the round of 16.
Well, you must be pretty excited being back in the Champions League. It's been a number of seasons that you haven't featured.
We're talking about a number of seasons. It was only last season. We've seen it before that we were Champions League.
Well, Champions League, Europa League. So what you actually went out of the group stages and you went into the Europa League, right?
Last season?
Yeah.
Okay. No, because last season, the season before Ten Hag, we had Ollie and Ralph. So we finished, I think, 7th or 6th or whatever it was. So no, we weren't. That was 3 seasons ago where we finished 3rd in the Champions League group stages, came down into Europa, and went from there. But the season after that, we were Champions League. The season after that was where Ollie was his last season. Didn't make it. Ralph came in. Obviously, the players didn't have any respect for him or want to listen to anything he has to say. So that was a disaster. But yeah, Ten Hag back, did his thing, got us back into the Champions League, and here we go, baby, back where we belong.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season. Champions League is never easy. If history repeats itself, normally when the English clubs they play Champions League during the week or Europa League, the next fixture in the Premier League is always tough because the manager needs to rotate players. 100%. And obviously, in essence, that's when a lot of points are dropped. So let's see if the squad depth can kick in and, if the season will go as planned.
Look, it's a little easier to do the Tuesday, Wednesday versus the Thursday.
Yeah.
So that's always helpful. But you just need to make sure you have some great depth in your squad. And looking at today's deadline day business, it helps. So yeah, it'll be good. I'm very excited. Cannot wait to get back into Champions League and make it the knockouts. And then anything can happen. It's 2 games. You go for it. You go all out and try and win those games and make it to the next stage. And man, it would be so nice to get there on that final day. But that's what it's all about. Dreaming. Just let's get there. Let's get there. One step at a time.
So in all reality, if you're realistic and you think with your head as a footballer, and obviously not as a Man United fan, what are your chances of getting to the final? Because there's a lot of great teams. The season's long. Obviously, you've got 6 points from the first couple of games. You still have to find your feet. You've got a couple of holes in your squad, which it looks like you've plugged now in the transfer window. So realistically, where do you see yourselves finishing in the Champions League?
I can't say I'll be happy, but I'll be okay if we make it to the semis. I'll be okay with that.
That's an achievement.
It's an achievement for smaller clubs like Liverpool. For United, you have to win something. But yeah, it's Eric's second season. He's building on his first season. So to make it to the Final Four in Champions League, I think is a great compliment to what he's doing for the team. So if that's the case, I'll be okay with that. I won't be happy, but I'll be okay with that. I'll accept that. Yeah, and then of course it's all about the league, man.
Well, when the so-called small club Liverpool, like you say, when you win 6 Champions League, you come and talk to the big boys. Until then, pipe down, buddy.
Sorry, we've been so focused on the league and getting to 20. I don't know. Where are you again with the league? 19? What? Yeah. We'll get there too, don't worry. Big ones have 20 and up. But anyway, go check your facts. Listen, so speaking of transfers, how's it going? Are you going to let Salah go for 150 million? I see that new bid coming from the Saudi League or what?
Yeah, so this is every Liverpool's nightmare. We saw the news on Sky Sports today where Al Ittihad have put in a formal bid for 150 million. 1.5 bar for Salah in wages per week. And let's not forget that's not taxable. So his wages will not be taxable. He'll be walking out every single week with huge amounts of ammo. But Liverpool knocked that back. And yeah, we're testing the resolve of them. Obviously, we don't want to sign with only a couple of hours left. The transfer window closes at 11 BST time. So, we can't let a player like Salah go now at this stage. There's no way to replace him. So hopefully we can be steadfast in our stance, and he's not for sale this season, and possibly agree something for the following season when we can try and replace him. To replace a player like Salah, it doesn't happen overnight. The caliber of talent out there is already at all top clubs, so it would be difficult. Am I happy about the situation? Obviously not. But this is football. Money talks. Anything can happen. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, look, you replacing him first and foremost is difficult. Never mind on the final day. That's you got to think like for like skill and quality of play is almost impossible.
Yeah.
On the last day of the window. If this happened week 1 into the window, different story. You guys can look at it, see who's around, who's available, and go from there. But what happens if he throws his toys out the cart and he decides, I want to go? What happens then?
Look, a couple of weeks ago, his agent came out and said that they signed a new deal with Liverpool. If they had intention of moving on, they wouldn't have signed a new deal. So it seems like Salah has unfinished business in the Premier League this season. I'm hoping it stays like that and we keep him through the whole season and obviously try and win some trophies. But there's no doubt, Salah's going to become the new poster boy of the Saudi Pro League. Ronaldo opened the doors with being the first icon signing. Everyone turned their heads and said, what's going on? And obviously now the new transfer window, you can see the influx of players from the Premier League and all other leagues, moving out to the Saudi Pro League because of the amounts of ammo that they're going to earn. So I have no doubt that he will be in the Saudi Pro League at some point. He's Muslim, and there's a lot of respect for him in that country. He's obviously the best African player by far, although there are a lot of candidates that can be up there with him, like Mane, and there's loads more. But I'm just hoping that we can do enough to convince him to stay this season and just continue to stand firm on our stance and say he's not for sale. That's basically all we can do right now. We don't have any cards to play, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he's your best player by far. I wouldn't say he's as good as our new signing Amrabat or Onana for Africa, but yeah, man, he's okay. Just kidding. Silence danger. We all know that. You guys won't be able to replace him. So
nah, definitely not.
Looks like you'll hold on to him another season, unfortunately. But yeah, good for you. You got any incomings still on the radar?
Yeah, so it was confirmed earlier that Ryan Gravenberch is going to be heading out to Anfield. He's scheduled for his medical this morning.
Saw that yesterday.
So it looks like he will strengthen the midfield, which is exactly what we needed. I still feel that we short at centre-back, but I don't see Liverpool doing any more business. But you never know. Worst things have happened in the past where players have come in last minute. So that looks like our business is concluded. I still think that we shouldn't have waited until the last day. I know that we had stumbling blocks with Caicedo and Lavia. But 4 midfielders coming in, Soboslai, McAllister, great players. Endo with a little bit of experience, also a decent player. Number 6, disrupt the play, win the ball back, quick little passes. And Ryan Gravenberch, which is obviously a box-to-box player. He's got good skill. He's got a good eye for through passes. He works hard. So, yeah, I think overall, decent transfer window for us. I'm just hoping that we don't lose Salah like we've spoken earlier. How's about United? I see there's a couple of incomings that have happened and still Amrabat to be confirmed.
Yeah, it looks like we got Reguilon over the line. Just waiting for United to confirm it, but Fabrizio gave it the here we go. Same with Amrabat. He gave the here we go. Just waiting for United to do the same thing.
But that's a loan with an option to buy, hey?
Well, I don't know about options. It almost sounds like it's a part of the clause is there's no option. You have to buy him, which is fine. I think we just don't have the cash right now. FFP, I've heard we're a little in the weeds there. So next year, hopefully all goes well with him as a player, and we can just, he's worth it. We sign on the dotted line and it's done. He's a permanent player for us. We're Reguilon short term. I hear there's like a little break in that clause that come January, if we have Shaw and Malacia fit and we don't need Reguilon, we are able to stop the loan in Jan, give him back to Spurs, and rock and roll from there.
That's actually very good business by United.
I'm surprised they went for that. Apparently that was one of the hold-ups in Cucurella. Not that I was over the moon about Cucurella, but Chelsea wouldn't accept that and then wanted more money. So, yeah, it seems that it all worked out for us with Reguilon coming in and being a short-term option. And then, of course, we signed Bahinder. United already confirmed that, our new backup goalkeeper to Onana. And that's the other thing. There will be African Cup of Nations. Onana will go, likely go. And then we have Bahinder, will have to play games. We only really have those 2. We had 4 goalkeepers last year and they're all gone. Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he plays and if he can cope under the pressure. And I'm sure that Ten Hag and his team have done their homework and that he'll fill in just fine. And it'll be good to add those 3 to Mount, Hoyland. So, yeah, it'll be good.
Good transfer window for United, in your opinion.
Very good. Very happy with that.
Just going back to Sergio Reguilon, he didn't really feature much for Spurs. He was out
injury at one stage, I know, and he was out for many weeks.
Yeah, so he didn't really gain that, first place as a left centre back.
Yeah.
But you know what? He serves a purpose for what you need. You need to fill a gap at the moment while your
Sure.
first and second choice come back from injury. So let's see how he does. Let's see how he fits into Ten Hag's plans and see if he can actually do a job for United.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Spurs also have Perisic, and Perisic did so well for them.
Yeah,
So,
great.
yeah, I don't blame him, being 50-50 with Perisic and then getting injured. Tough to come back and win your spot over him. So, yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be strange to see him in a red shirt because we were in for him, of course, 2 or 3 seasons ago with Oli, and just didn't go to plan. I think Real wanted a buyback clause at that stage, and we were like, no, we're not going to give you a buyback clause. He does well for us, and then you take our best left back. That's what small clubs do. Yeah, we don't have that small club mentality, so not going to happen. And then we settled. We went another direction. So yeah.
Well, it's questionable, the small club mentality. I'm sure a lot of Liverpool fans and other fans will share my sentiment.
Oh yeah. All haters, all delusional, man. Come on. We know United ruined all your childhood. We understand that. We know that. That's a fact. Your childhoods were all ruined by United, so it's cool. We just getting. It's just the wheel had just turned a bit, and now we suffering. That's all. But
I can honestly say that it did ruin a part of my childhood watching you win, with United and Liverpool struggling for so long. So yes, you do have some truth in what you're saying right now. It's just great to be, on top for the past 7 years. It's been fresh. It's not all been doom and gloom. Obviously, I would have hoped to have won more trophies than what we have, but we've showed character with some of the squads that we had when Klopp took over. To get into so many finals and lose, that was harsh, but it shows progress. You know what I mean? So yeah, mate, continue.
No, it's done. It's finished. It's over. The rebuild has begun, and now you're going to suffer for the next few years, and it's done. It's finished. The Liverpool story of winning trophies is done for a little while.
You're delusional, Marcus. Come on.
You're a whole new midfield. It's going to take time, Marcus. Take time to bed in, and everybody to get used to each other. So it'll be good to watch.
Look, obviously, with all the experience we've lost, it's not the same. However, we have fresh energy, and that's what we didn't have last season. Last season, it almost looked like our entire midfield was tired and jaded, and like almost they got to a position where mentally and physically they were tired, and they couldn't obviously perform like we have in previous years, especially with Klopp's style of football, like he likes to call it, heavy metal football. So, Szoboszlai...
Heavy metal, I call it slow jazz.
Obviously, you would call it slow jazz. I think I wouldn't expect anything else. If you said that it was heavy metal football, then, this rivalry wouldn't be real, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, the Europa League draw, Thursday night football, like everyone wants to call it.
Something else. This something more important, man. Do we have to speak about Europa?
Well, this is what it is. If this podcast was done last season, we'd be talking about Europa. So yeah, unfortunately, it just happens to be that this season we in Europa, and it hurts. It hurts me when I look at the Champions League and our name wasn't drawn up. But it's reality. It is what it is. We struggled last season. For us to finish fifth shows a lot of testament because we really struggled last season. If it wasn't for that run of 8 games where we won solid and then drew one, lost one, and then won again, I think we obviously wouldn't have finished. So yeah, the draw obviously took place yesterday.
Just going back when you said obviously it wasn't possible to see Liverpool in the Champions League draw. Did you see that video that went around again yesterday?
I did. Now, I wasn't sure if that was a real video, if it was a hoax.
It's from the past. It's just Arshavon, the old Arsenal player. He was doing the draw, and it was from previous years where I think it was another English team that you were supposed to play, and it was not possible in that round.
Yes, that's right.
So they said, oh, it's not possible, but it fits perfectly because you're not in the Champions League.
And that was yesterday's joke.
Arshavon, that was funny.
I had a little bit of a giggle. Then I watched it again. I'm like, nah, this can't be real.
Yeah.
So yeah, back
who's
to.
in your Europa League? Who's in the draw? Who's in your group?
So I'm going to try and pronounce everything correct, yeah, because some of these teams I've never heard. I must be honest. So firstly, we got Lusk, which is a team
Oh,
of
last.
Austria.
Yeah,
They finished third in their league. The Austrian league is competitive, but nowhere near as the Premier League.
sure.
So, I think it maybe be a tricky away day, but I think at home we'll definitely take that.
Who won that league? Salzburg. Red Bull Salzburg.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Then the next team that we're going to be playing is Toulouse. Now, when I did my research on Toulouse, I saw they finished like mid-table, so I was a little bit confused as to why they would be in the Europa League. And then I went on to see that they won the French Cup, yeah. So they in our group. And then lastly is Union Saint Gilloin, the club from
Say that again.
Union Saint Gilloin from Belgium. They also finished third in their league, but quite surprisingly, they went out in the Europa League in the quarterfinal. So so it seems like they got a bit of experience. I don't think it's the toughest group, to be honest with you. But you can't look down on any team in football. Anything can happen on the day.
That's for sure.
But yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be tricky. With Thursday night football, then obviously you play on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Monday. It depends on the fixtures. So a lot of squad rotation is going to be necessary. Hence why we needed more numbers in the squad. But yeah, looking forward to it. Like I said, many occasions, happy that football's back, and it just gives us more talking points in future podcasts.
Yeah, that's decent. Especially if you lose to one of those teams, it'll be a good, real good podcast.
Well,
So you got two champions, and you playing a third and a 13th, and I don't know what. Interesting levels.
Yeah.
Is this game? Because one day you'll reach the levels where you play champions, and then you'll play mid-table.
Oh
Don't
God!
worry about it. It's all good. We're on the right track. Just keep going.
It's all about progress, right? So this is progress for you. You're playing against champions. Watch you finish third and come down to Europa. That would be bittersweet.
Wow, they would shut me up real quick.
Real quick.
Oh, jeez. No, there's nothing wrong with Europa.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not the elite competition, but there's nothing wrong with Europa. You win that. It's pretty good. Really, really good. Great trophy to win.
There's some decent sides in Europa, and I'm quite confident if we are lucky with injuries, and if everything goes well with Klopp's philosophy and the players adapt well, I think we could win it. I think we can go all the way and win it.
You've got to be one of the favourites. I mean, you've been in the Champions League. I don't know how many years now in a row. You have squad depth. It's a bit of a new team, but you still have Klopp, and I think you'll go deep in the competition for sure.
Yeah,
just not sure if you'll get there in the end, but you have to be one of the favourites.
Look, in all fairness, you don't want to say we're going to win it because you're a United supporter, but in your mind, you think that it is a possibility, right?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. You just said you're one of the top 3 or 4 maybe favourites. I don't really know who else is in there, but without a doubt, you're top 4.
Yeah. Well, it'll be an interesting watch, and looking forward to see how it all pans out.
For sure. Back in the league, how's your fantasy team doing?
So, game week 1, I did well. I finished second in our fantasy Premier League in terms of points. Game week 2, I struggled, so I opted to use my wild card. So I did that.
Early. Wow.
Early, very early.
Early days.
I think in previous seasons, I've always decided, let's wait a little bit, then I'll make, a couple of transfers, -4 here, -8 there, -12 here. But I'm trying something different this season. I want to try and hit the floor running, instead of trying to play catch up. So, my squad looked very good in the last game week. Unfortunately, I did not choose the correct players, as some of my defenders that were on my bench made more points than my starting boykies. But yeah, looking good for this game week. Don't forget to do your squad. I know that you'll be traveling.
Yeah.
How's yours looking?
I had a good game week 1, good game week 2. 3 was shocking. Jeez, it was shocking. I was my fault. I got a little irritated with Bruno and Rash doing nothing. And even though they had a really good fixture coming up in Forest, I was like, I don't know if these dudes can do anything. So transferred them both out. Of course, Bruno hit a goal and an assist.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. And I don't think Haaland did very much. Was it the game before? Either or. I know he did. He missed a penalty and then scored a goal, Haaland, last week. But before that, game week 2, I did well because I didn't captain him. I had this feeling he wasn't going to do well. So I captained, I don't know, Saka or Bruno or someone else. It wasn't Bruno because Bruno didn't do anything. But it was Saka, I think, game week 2. And he did okay. But yeah, so this 3 wasn't good. But I brought Bruno back for game week 4 and made another sub. So I took a -4 hit, but that's okay. I think the team's looking in good shape. There's 2 more changes I want to make, and then I think I'll be okay. It all depends how it goes this week, but I think it'll be okay. It's going to be great, though. Mixed feelings this weekend. I'm going to enjoy watching my team, Man United, absolutely do a job on Arsenal at the Emirates. and then watching, knowing that Saka and Martinelli are going to suffer for fantasy. But I'm good with that. Again, I'm like, that's cool. Just, you can suffer this week to the mighty United. Next week, they can pick up a few points. You know what I mean? It's going to be great.
I love your optimism and I love your energy, but you're delusional, Marcus.
No, going back to it, seriously, again, Arsenal are a decent side, strong side. I think their fans are the most delusional on the planet, but they're good fun, good for banter. And yeah, it's cool to be a great game. Can go either way. They're the home team, so they should be the favourites. So if they win, a big surprise, I can expect that. But hoping to take at least a draw from them, if not a win. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's going to be Højlund's debut, which will be exciting.
Yeah.
Youngster on the pitch, whether he starts or comes on as a sub remains to be seen, but will be so exciting to see. He's fast, he's strong, you know. It's going to be great, man. I am so excited. It's going to be great.
So, yeah, for some of our viewers that don't know, Mark will be taking a trip from the US to the UK to go and meet up with one of our mates, Dimitri, an avid Arsenal supporter. They'll be going to the game together, watching the game live. And Mark will be doing a blog there with Dimitri and myself. We'll be discussing the game. We'll do predictions for the game. And obviously, as the game pans out, hopefully myself and Dimitri will be extremely happy and Mark will be glum. And I can't wait for everyone to see Mark's happy face, because this isn't really his happy face. I want you to see his real happy face when Arsenal take all 3 points. So, yeah, stay tuned. Going to be explosive. We're all looking forward to it. And obviously, this is something that we are, trying to explore in the future. So, Mark, anyway, safe travels to the UK.
Thank you.
Best of luck on Sunday. You're going to need it. And, yeah, come on, you Gunners.
I just need you an undercover Gunner fan. You know what I mean? You should take that shirt off. It's a disgrace that you put that on your body and put an Arsenal shirt.
So,
which is worse, probably go at Liverpool, but put the Gunner on. It's fine.
If you don't know, after 30 plus years, my cousins, Liverpool first, and any other team that beats United is second.
Yeah.
Any other team that beats United is second.
Yeah. Well, awesome, my cuz. It's always great chatting to you.
Yeah, great chat. Safe travels. And yeah, look forward to speaking to you in the next episode. For everyone that's new to our channel, we'd just like to thank you for your support. Please hit the like button, share, and please, try and help us grow the page. And yeah, help us bring good transfer news, good banter, and anything football to our viewers.
Awesome. Yeah, comment, like, share, subscribe. See you next time.
That's it. Catch you in the next episode.
See ya.
Peace.